Yo, what's up guys? In the first video on this channel documenting my journey to success. This is why I took this trade on my eval on Nasdaq on the 15th of December. So let's get into it. On the 4-hour coming into market open, I immediately see that we're in this 4-hour fair value gap. We're in a bearish trend. We don't really have any nice liquidity to the upside. So what does that tell me? That this is basically high resistance liquidity. This also doesn't look that good, but I personally, paired with us being bearish in the trend, I would say this is basically easier for us to take. On the 1 hour, I marked myself the Fibonacci of this leg. And so what do? Scale down to the 5-minute. On the 5-minute, we sweep these highs on market open or right before market open. What do we do on market open? We break structure to the downside, inverse all of these fair value gaps. And on ES, there was a bigger fair value gap here, so I was waiting for us to retrace to this fair value gap, or maybe even inverse it to take potentially a long to rebalance even more into the range. But we didn't end up retracing into this gap. So yes, this for me, this was a possible entry on this rejection candle. But yeah, I wanted us to first retrace to this gap. I usually like us to have more high time frame confluence, which is the 5-minute in this case. So yeah, I'm really just waiting for any confluence of some sort on the 5-minute. I'm just waiting for value gap the whole time on this leg. And then we finally get one. We I don't think we really swept anything before getting. Yeah, we just we retraced into this fair value gap finally. And what happens later? We create a fair value gap over here. So what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for the inversion of this fair value gap. Here I didn't really get an entry here, so I just put the order on the IAVG, and we actually paired it with a normal fair value gap. I actually took break even really quickly in here because we already swept these little lows. So really, I went break even as soon as basically this candle happened. As soon as we broke through this low. So this is kind of the way I trade. I usually wait for a higher time frame confluence, like a 5-minute confluence more. And then a rejection out of it. I stopped really trading, putting orders exactly on it, but I started trading rejections of the confluences, and I would say this is an amazing tip for anyone if you want to improve your win rate, because waiting for a rejection, whether it's for IAVG or a simple down candle or an up candle, depending on the trend, really takes out a lot of setups. It's a really simple tip, and yes, it decreases your RR, but I would say it's worth it by how much it increases your win rate. So I enter, we start getting some, after like tiny bit of chop here, we finally start going down towards my draw of liquidity. I actually only took set this low as a take profit. It was like the whole low of this whole leg, because it was such an error. I would say it wasn't worth it to really take partials on this low. I was basically sure we would take this low with how much we were going down. But what the mistake I did was that stopped me from making $600 and ended up making me only 160 is I trailed my stop loss. I normally never do it. I mean, I go break even, as I said, but I don't trail my stop loss into profit unless I would enter like here, and I would kind of trail it here, 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 here. But on the short trades, I never trailed my stop loss. But seeing this jump from this low, I kind of got ahead of myself in emotions and actually trailed it to this high. And yeah, it took me out exactly over here. And then run straight to through my TP. I would have already been 1/4 of the way to passing the funded, but now I'm a lot less. So yeah, it really is like a pretty late trade, but yeah, I think if you have like enough conviction of a setup happening, see it also played out on S&P, but not fully. We didn't take this high. If you have high conviction, like if you have a strong bias of what we're gonna do, I had a strong bias that we were gonna take this high time frame low. Then setups like this just make sense. I saw some people longing here, but I don't know really why. Because we had one gap, and on yes we had actually two, so that's even worse. And to be honest, wait, we actually didn't. Okay, I thought we entered into equilibrium on yes, but we didn't. We almost reached equilibrium here, but we also didn't. I placed my stop loss on the most recent high. As you can see, I probably would have placed it on the top of the Fair Valley gap, but I decided not to, because we created a little high, and the difference wasn't really that big. I was willing to risk it basically. So yeah, this is why you guys should trust not even your strategy, but the way you trade. I never trail my stop loss out of fear. I trade my stop loss. What happens? I get stopped out from my trailed stop loss instead of getting to full TP. It's basically a matter of, if you trade the way you trade for a long time and it's proven, you prove to yourself that it works, don't try to change it. If it works, it works, guys. So not only stick to your strategy, I actually entered according to my strategy. 5-minute confluence, 5-minute retrace, and then rejection. I did the NIFG, which what happened, but I didn't execute during the trade properly as I wanted. So these stupid mistakes happen a lot, but what you have to always remember is to just learn from them. This is the first trade on the funded, even though I bought it last week, but last week I didn't take any trades. I didn't really see any opportunity except Friday, but I didn't place my order in time, and I missed my setup, which would have been winning. But that's whatever. Let's not dwell on what I could have taken. But yeah, it's not always about trusting only your strategy, but also trusting your own emotions and your own kind of consciousness. If you enter this trade at a particular place. Yes, getting break even is absolutely amazing. Not really that early. Like normally I go break even on my first partial TP, or like if the first TP is like would be like here, then I would have went on like 1 hour to break even, or like a really lower time frame liquidity. So yeah, it really, you gotta learn from these mistakes. As I said, this is the first trade on the funded, and I'm very glad it actually happened, because it prevents me from doing these mistakes again, when I'm deeper into the funded, or when I'm trying to get a payout. So yes, the whole lesson I got from today is to just trust yourself. Unless you're in denial, then that's a completely different case. Unless you would have entered off of one confluence and just was like, I trust my conviction, it will hit TP, I'm risking my whole account. No, I did everything according to my strategy, except that one thing, which caused me to not lose money, but lose potential money. So yeah, just you just always gotta remember that when any sort of barrier happens on your journey, or you did do a mistake, you recognize the mistake, you just gotta learn from it. That's really the most important part of trading, is learning from your experience. No matter how much you watch videos on trading, I would say that still the most important thing in learning is just trading. You will see kind of patterns in what mistakes you make if you recognize them, and you're not in denial about you being trading perfectly and blaming it on the market's conditions. So if you're actually humble enough to admit to yourself that you're doing something wrong, you can you can change it, tweak it, and you'll get better over time. That's really the most important thing. And yeah, I think that's really all for today. I'm probably not gonna trade tomorrow. We have a lot, from what I saw, a lot of red folder news on Tuesday, so tomorrow. So I'm probably not gonna trade. I'm not gonna try to risk the funded money, although I wouldn't have lost it, because I don't really over risk like ever, or over trade. That's another thing, over risking. Just don't do it. It's really simple. You can just, it's not even like a matter of getting affected by your emotions. If you just press the too high of a number, or you risk a whole account in one trade, or you take so many trades in one day on like the same leg, you keep taking long, and you keep doing it until you blow your account, then that definitely is something wrong. So you need to recognize your own mistakes and admit them to yourself. Admit to yourself that you're not perfect, and you still have a long way to go, long way of learning. Even people with years of market experience still have things to learn. You will never be a perfect trader. You will always need to be humble. If you're not humble, if you keep doing that, if you keep repeating the same mistakes, the market's gonna take your money. It really is that simple. So yeah, thank you guys for the first video. I hope it wasn't too chaotic. I think it will get better with each one. myself need to get experience just talking raw on these trades. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good day or an evening whenever you are watching it. I hope you guys got a W today. Even if it was a little bit stupid, a win, I guess, is always a win, right? As long as you don't repeat this mistake. Don't take a winning trade as a winning trade. If you made a mistake, I usually, even when I journal trades, like in my own folders, I also look for mistakes in winning trades, not only losing trades. That's also pretty important. So yeah, once again, see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna be posting for now only videos when I do take a trade. And yeah, I think that's really it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining me on the first breakthrough, like the most stressful video for me. And I hope we're gonna do this shit together and just continue this journey, man. Continue this journey, getting better and better every day. So yeah, peace out, guys.